Now this can be done with a resistance band, but the cable attachment is much better if you can get access to it. The resistance is much more even. You have to change the weight between each of these exercises. I was using 30 pounds for the abduction and 70 pounds for the kickbacks. Maintain a slight bend in the knee. That foot should skim the ground but not touch. You gotta be quick on changing over to the next ankle here. You only have 10 seconds to switch. I like doing this combination before every leg day. Really warms up the hips. Usually throw in some inner thigh adduction as well as part of the warm-up. Just keep focusing on the glutes. Hamstrings are getting a workout here too. Try to focus on those glutes. You don't want any pressure on your knees, so keep those legs straight and focus on the glutes. Now, some songs I really like for these intervals are the tabata songs on Spotify. It really helps keep the rhythm going. But I do a lot of tabatas on my workouts. Keeps the pace up, allows you to get a high amount of volume in a very short amount of time. The exercises that you do just one exercise for the entire tabata are extremely hard. It's actually easier doing two exercises like this back to back, so it helps break it up a little bit. Keep the depth on these squats. This can be done with dumbbells. I prefer the barbell because you can really focus on the legs and the glutes more without having to worry about holding onto dumbbells. Plus it's less cardiovascular taxing with a barbell. Dumbbells, I find that you're going to be breathing really heavy and not necessarily focusing on the glutes as well. You should be using a decent amount of weight. I only have 95 pounds on there, but this adds up pretty quick. Like next time I do it, I may go up to 135. You have time to do about 8 reps on each exercise here. Not much of a break. It's enough just to allow you to get that bar off your back for a second and shake off your arms, but it's not much of a break. But it's a lot of work. You end up doing 4 sets of squats and 4 sets of lunges in a 4-minute time frame right here. So it keeps your heart rate up and you get a really good glute pump. Try and get the knee close to the ground on these lunges. Focus on most of your weight on that front leg. Here we go, get into position, ready to go. Good, deep reps, core tight, feet flat. Back to the lunges. Again, most of your weight on that front leg. It's almost like the start of the movement is a single leg squat, and then you reach back with that rear foot for balance. Almost there, come on, keep going. Good, keep breathing. Keep pumping them out. All right, last lunge coming up. Good. Step ups first. Box should be fairly high. Notice how my knee is just about level with my hip when my foot's on the box. That really engages the glutes more when you step up high like that. I'm using 36-pound kettlebells. And then switching over to the 62-pound kettlebell here for these wide stance Sumo deadlifts. I've got my feet elevated just to get a little bit more range of motion. You're trying to touch the ground at the bottom and keeping your back fairly upright. Keep those knees pushed out and your feet flat. Still want to go fairly heavy on these two as well. I don't enjoy doing cardio, especially steady state cardio on a treadmill, elliptical, but lifting weights with short rest, still using relatively heavy weight for multiple sets is very cardiovascular, great for conditioning. To me, it's a lot more fun to lift weights with short rests. More fun than staying on a treadmill or a bike or elliptical to me. Plus, you're still getting muscle building and strength benefits. Not to say that you shouldn't be doing some slower, heavy weight workouts, you should still have days where you're lifting, maximum load, taking longer between sets. But I really like these workouts to get in more volume, increase the pump, increase your endurance, and to get more work done in the time that you have in the gym. Most of us don't have hours to spend in the gym, so you really want to make the most of your time and really, keep the pace up and try not to get distracted. There we go, finish strong, come on. Alright, good deal. Now these burn a lot. This can be done with a barbell if you don't have one of these Nautilus glute drive machines. I really like this machine though. It makes these glute bridges much more comfortable than using a barbell. But this is just one exercise for the whole round here. 8 sets of these. This burns a lot when you just do one exercise like this. You really focus on that one muscle group and it gets pretty intense. I'm trying to get a pretty good squeeze at the top and a slow, steady range of motion. So, 8 to 10 reps per round. Doesn't take a whole lot of weight on this if you're squeezing at the top. If you notice, I keep switching my feet position a little bit in between each round. I go from narrow stance to medium stance to wide stance just to break up the load on the glutes, hits the glutes in a slightly different angle, and gives you a little bit of relief from that burning sensation in your glutes, and your quads start to burn pretty hard too. There we go. I'm moving my feet back in a little closer here. Just try to keep on moving for the whole interval if you can. At the end, you may have to stop a little bit early because of the discomfort, but get ready to roll, get ready to get in position and go on the beep. But after you get done with this, you're going to walk funny because your butt is going to feel like it's got air blown into it. It's so pumped up. I'm using a little extra foam pad underneath the belt. The belt does have some padding, but when you're doing multiple sets like this, or if you're going really heavy, it still digs into your hips a little bit. So I find just a little bit of extra cushion from that white foam pad I have there. It really helps. And I just cut that piece off myself. It was off a foam strip, and I just cut that off. But still way more comfortable than just placing a barbell on your hips. Next we got glute ham raise and straight-legged Romanian deadlifts with dumbbells. These two are pretty taxing on your hamstrings as well, and your lower back. So take your time on each movement, try and keep that back flat on both. Getting in and out of position is a bit of a struggle on these. You gotta be pretty quick, because you only have 10 seconds to switch to the next exercise. Keep those dumbbells close to your legs on these. Feel a little bit of a stretch in the hamstrings at the bottom. And then squeeze the glutes hard when you stand up at the top. If you have trouble doing the glute ham raise, where you bend the knees and try to come up a little bit more upright, you can just do a regular back extension. These also work well, but I just like to get a little bit more hamstrings involved in these. Probably don't need a whole lot of weight on these straight-legged deadlifts. I think I have 30 pounds in each hand. Hang in there, keep going. This is the last two exercises here on this workout. This is just to finish off that glute workout. And my glutes were sore for 3 days after doing this. There is a lot of work on the glutes, very cardiovascular demanding. Hamstrings are working hard too. But this would be a glute focused day. And most of these exercises were chosen in a way because if you're in the gym, you can couple these exercises pretty easily together and just find a little corner in the gym and go back and forth without anybody bothering you, without having to hold on to, two machines, because sometimes that can be hard to do. Here you just bring a couple of dumbbells over by the hyperextension machine or the GHD machine and just go back and forth. And because you're going at such a fast pace, nobody's going to steal your machine. That can be one of the most challenging things about working in a public gym, because you've got other people you need to work around. I'm lucky here that I have a place to myself, and nice job, guys.